Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. And before we get into today's topic, I just want to thank everybody for the insane support this channel keeps on receiving. We are less than 100 subs away from 35,000. So if you feel like I have earned your subscription, and you feel like hitting that sub button, maybe we can get to 35K by tomorrow, and that would be amazing. So thank you all for that. But today's topic, I wanted to go over basically my expectations or my hopes from the upcoming mini set. Nothing's been announced yet, nothing's been revealed yet, but if you're not aware, a mini set is like about 30 something cards that comes out 2 months after a major expansion. And typically it's used to like infuse and either help support like existing archetypes or help out a class in need. Last mini set, Shaman was in a really bad spot, and they got like 3 insanely good cards. I think Primal Dungeoneer, Wailing Vapor, and Perpetual Flame all came out in the last mini set, and Shaman went from being one of the worst classes to arguably the best class by the end of it. It did a really good job. So I thought today would be a lot of fun to go over what I would like to see come out in the mini set, as well as get your feedback on what you guys would love to see in the mini set. Because honestly, I'm struggling to figure out what could actually be impactful in the mini set due to how strong the quest lines are. And we are awaiting some nerf announcements. Hopefully some quest lines get nerfed, or some really, meta dominant cards get nerfed to allow the mini set to have some more impact. But regardless of that, I haven't heard anything yet. We're gonna go with what I would like to see based off just what we know as of right now. So what would I like to see in the mini set? So first, I know they've never done this and they've shied away from this, but I think with the way the quest lines are right now, and if you can't dial back the power level of them, or they refuse to, we need to see more disruption. More disruption in the game to slow down the quests or something. I tweeted this extreme example. This was shared to me by a follower of mine on Twitter, of Nova destroying a quest line, a Nova cat or whatever, a minion that would destroy a quest. And I think that's too far. I think that would feel awful. You build your deck specifically around a quest. That would be really awful. But we saw they brought in the tradable mechanic, and typically the mini set will reuse mechanics from the prior expansion. I wouldn't mind seeing like a tradable mechanic or tradable tech card that would like delay your opponent from proceeding their quest for a turn or two. Something like Battle Cry, your opponent can't advance their quest line for a turn. Just something to slow it down, because right now the quest lines are completed so quickly, so efficiently, and then once they're done, the game's kind of over. I kind of like to see maybe some disruption go to it, and you put it on a tradable card. So if you put it in your deck and you're not facing a questline deck, maybe it's okay, but maybe it's too good, maybe too frustrating. But maybe some other type of disruption, like, that makes your spells cost more. We already see it, a lot of disruption being used in the current metagame to try and help, like the Watch Posts. You have a Cult Neophyte and all that. Maybe more disruption. Honestly, I would love, of course, for the quest lines to be nerfed appropriately, be brought to a reasonable power level, but I can't imagine we're going to get that quite yet. But, this would be like another way of trying to deal with it in a different way where you can kind of tech your deck. But again, I don't think these are great options. They're usually kind of poor options. It's basically admitting like something's too good and too powerful, but we don't want to correct it. So here's a tech card for it, like a Lock a Crawl or Skulking Geist. But it's something I wouldn't mind seeing, and disruption in the game can be quite helpful as long as it's not too OP, not too frustrating. Like an Elucia is an extreme example of disruption that I feel a lot of people find as frustrating, whereas a Dirty Rat is a lot more reasonable because you can play around it to an extent and things like that. So love to see some disruption, particular towards the questline decks, since they are so dominant right now. The next thing I would like to see is Warrior getting some help. I know we're probably getting buffs in the next patch. Warrior is probably going to get addressed, but buffs have rarely ever done much, and I don't know what you could possibly buff. Like, you make some pirates better, or you make like the big warrior stuff a bit better. Is that really going to compete? I'm not convinced of that. I feel like it won't really move the needle enough for warrior, but maybe it does if that's what they choose to do. But we saw with Shaman, when he gave Shaman some help last mini set, it did a heck of a lot, because they had done Shaman buffs prior to that mini set that didn't do anything. So what does warrior need? Well, the questline warrior in standard basically needs more good cheap pirates. It's the pirates that are there, the few that are there are good, but there's just not enough of them. So you make a couple of cheap good pirates, that'd be really good for the standard pirate warrior. That would make wild even scarier because the wild deck's really good. Or like I said, maybe you make some really good more like mana cheating, recruit cheating, minion cheating, big warrior stuff where you can cheat out minions a little bit sooner or enable certain strategies a little bit sooner, because right now big warrior is too slow. So I would feel like those are the archetypes they'd want to lean towards. I can't think of a control card in the freaking galaxy that could help out warrior right now with the quest lines being what they are. I just can't see it. There's insane control tools in Wild that can't do a thing against what's going on right now, and I can't imagine that. So I feel like if you're going to help out warrior, you got to do it in a proactive way, and proactive is either quest line with a good pirate or maybe a good weapon, or with a big warrior strategy that can cheat out minions quicker to scam the quest decks quicker, basically. So, you know, speed up the game even more, because that's what it needs. But yeah, I think warrior definitely needs some help, and that's kind of the way I would see it happening. This is just something I wish to see, not to break the wild format again with the mini set. To be fair, the wild format as I record this is completely broken with Questline Warlock dominating. I played like yesterday, and in 13 games I faced over 50% Questline Warlock, and then one other deck that wasn't an odd Questline Hunter. It was like 2 decks. That's all I faced. And you know, the last mini set we saw Stealer of Souls, the one before that we saw Hysteria, both basically broke wild. So I just would like to see a Warlock card not break the format in a new way. That'd be cool. That's all. That's all I ask. Maybe that they really be a little bit more careful with the cards. But again, they ban stuff, they change stuff eventually. But can we just not break wild with one mini set? And then I'll leave off with my last wish for the mini set that I would like to say is I'd like to see a powerful strategy that's just not quest related, that's not aggro related. I don't know how you do that with the mini set. I don't know how you introduce that, but I mean, the last mini set we saw like a Mutinous there that did a lot of good stuff. We saw Crash, we saw some cool stuff. Last mini set outside of Shaman wasn't super impactful, but I don't know. I feel like every game feels like it's quest versus aggro, quest versus aggro. And, you know, you have Garrote Rogue in there, to be fair. That Garrote Rogue can OTK and doesn't run a quest. It's not an aggro deck at all. So there is the exception to the rule here and there, also with like Fell Demon Hunter. So maybe more decks like that you can support. A Fell Demon Hunter style. I don't want to say support Garrote Rogue, because that deck I'm really not a fan of, but you know, more other strategies other than the linear strategy of going face or a linear strategy of completing a quest. And again, that's hard to accomplish in a mini set, but I mean, there's tools out there. You can maybe buff Hero Power Mage with some stuff. I know that's not from the most recent expansion, but Hero Power Mage, maybe you can make something in Mage work that's is not just the questline Mage, because whenever you face Mage, it's always the quest. You could do something there. You could give the Token Druid a bit more support. It's a very good deck, but you could give it more support. Hand Buff Paladin, maybe give that even more support, because that deck's really close. And I don't know, maybe Control Priest. Well, again, let's go with the Spell Generation Priest, get some support or something like that. Something that gets more support, that doesn't support a questline strategy and doesn't support a pure aggro strategy, whether it's mid-range, a combo, value, something like that. I just would love to see those archetypes support more. Basically, just don't give quests anything more. Quests have enough, and I realize they might get indirect support, because if you make a spell for mage, it's a spell that could work in the quest. But regardless, that's what I'd like to see, and I would love to hear your guys' take, because again, I really struggled to come up with ideas of what I want to see, just because like everything I normally would want to see, like, you know, a cool control card, a board clear, just won't matter in a questline meta. And until those quest lines are either dialed back a lot or Genin Baku'd, I just can't see that really changing. So I gotta kind of keep my expectations and wishes, you know, dialed in for what's actually realistic and what might actually happen. So again, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And again, thank you guys for all the support these days. It's been insane. My new computer's back there. I still haven't got to, because I'm a lazy man. I'm enjoying my days off. I can't help it. And hopefully I get it set up, but maybe I'll wait till next week. I don't know. We'll figure it out in the next few days. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.